Cool. Great. We're rolling. Hey guys, what's up? What's cracking?
Hello.
What's cracking?
Cracking.
Everybody's dead. Welcome to the Revmatch podcast, the podcast where everybody was hammered yesterday. So for anybody who joined us yesterday, we appreciate you hanging out. We did a little barbecue live stream action on IG. Just trying to hang out with you guys a little bit more. Had some people hang out. We got some cool feedback, actually. I was really stoked. Like, your guys tell me, Trevor, shout out to that dude.
Yeah.
Apparently has been listening to us every week, so super appreciate that. Gave some cool feedback on what he would like to see on our end and stuff, and I think that was super cool. Yeah, just overall it was fun. Obviously, Oliver and Sid came and hung out for a little bit. We had a good time with them, but overall it was fun for us to kind of hang out with you guys, hang in the garage, and rice out Mike's car. I'm next. I'm not even like I can't even touch it. I'm literally waiting for the FedEx truck to show up right now.
Our man's got fucking neon green.
Bro. It matches. Like it matches.
It does. It does match.
I got neon green lights and a super pink drink that has White Claws. I'm being the most basic fucking bitch. And I don't even care.
Bro, you scream you live in freaking Roseville, Rockland.
Cool, now everybody knows where I live. Thanks, Mike.
You're welcome.
They've seen the inside of my garage. They've seen my backyard. Everybody knows where
Everybody knows where you live, bro.
Everybody knows where we live. No, it was fun. Yeah, I mean, I think that's something we should do more often. I think that's like a cool thing that we can do that's a little bit different from a lot of other communities and shit, is we can do something like that. And who knows, maybe when COVID stops being a thing, we make it a bigger thing, get people together, do like a little meet/barbecue thing.
Yeah.
That could be fun. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
Yeah, we had your boy Trevor. It was funny. He brought up like drift related material, and I think because Chris is gonna be gone next weekend.
No, not
right?
next week. Not next. No.
The 11th.
No.
Ooh. Daddy said
the 25th.
Yeah. 25th. Oh, did I trip? Am I tripping?
I'm gone the 25th as well.
Oh, are you? Perfect. Okay.
That's
I think that's.
I'm gone on the 11th, most likely.
Yeah, it's all good. So that's next week. Okay. I'm just trying to see something real quick.
Oh, it's the 25th and the 1st.
The 1st, that's what it is. Okay. Perfect. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm out the 1st too.
So the 1st is a Sunday. You guys are going to be gone. We're probably that'll probably be, I mean, it has to be. We're going to do the Drift Companion. So we are going to do a thing where me and my buddy Jamal from back home in LA are going to hang out. We're going to live stream the Drift event. Obviously, we can't show it here, but if you guys are watching it on Sunday, you can kind of hang out with us and follow along, and we're going to break down what we think. Drifting is a judge sport, so there's some contention sometimes. A lot of time, the people don't always agree with the calls and all that kind of thing. And then kind of explain how things happen from a different perspective, from like a driver's perspective versus like a judge's, what they're looking for perspective. It'll just be a good time. It's just going to, like, if you ever listen to like a Joe Rogan Flag Opinion, it's basically going to be us sitting around talking about drifting bullshit and getting hammered. So that's all it's really going to be. Leading up to that, we're going to do an episode where we recap the season up to that point. And if you guys like that content, then maybe we'll do it again for the final round, which is the 20th and 22nd of November. See how that goes. And then if that's something that's cool, we can obviously continue that next season. Next season starts, barring that the world doesn't end fucking before then. Because who knows?
It probably will.
It probably will. But
Aliens land next week, I think. Like, Aliens are supposed to land next week.
I feel like it's like on the docket, right? For sure. Like they gotta have an appointment penciled in. Because why not?
There's still a couple months left of 2020.
Oh yeah, something big's gonna happen. Something big.
Next time.
How much shit did we miss this year?
A lot.
Like so much stuff.
A lot.
Aftershock, but I mean, even just like automotive shit. Like, did they have to cancel LS Fest?
SEMA? No, there's no SEMA this year.
No SEMA. Which I mean, do you think we could wait? Do you think that we could use this podcast as an
Yes.
excuse to get press
Yes.
credentials? Fuck
Yes.
yeah, let's go to Stephen next
Yes.
year.
Absolutely,
Let's do it.
bro.
Yeah. Only thing we're missing is a website.
Our buddy did it.
That's easy.
He used a dealership to get credentials to get in.
Well, we should totes do that next year. That shit would be fucking.
I'm down.
That'd be,
Hell yeah.
I've never
Talk to my
been.
roommate.
Love it, love
He's all in the
whiskey.
tech industry. He builds websites, so I can talk to him and see if he can build us a website.
It
Hell
doesn't
yeah.
need anything crazy.
Well, exactly, but nonetheless, like it's something he could do. And
Yeah,
like I
for
said,
sure.
roommate, like we could all kind of come over, hang out, pitch our idea to him, and have a little barbecue on it, and go from there.
Yeah, we've got to have like an online ditch measuring generator for sure. Like, I feel like that's a really underutilized portion of the internet market. I'm just kidding. I'm not doing that. Nor do I support crazy amount of dick jokes. So that'll be the only one. Already off the rails, guys. We've been recording for 10 minutes.
Alex, are you sure it's not vodka in that drink you're drinking right there?
No
It's about
shit.
to be.
Yeah.
Shit. What did you guys take away from yesterday? What did you think was cool about yesterday?
It's cool, man. It's cool to go hang out. It's cool I mean, think about it. We've all been cooped up with COVID. We all like don't get to see people in person. We don't get to. I mean, we do for our jobs, but like personally, like you don't get to, right? There's no like going and hanging out at Top Golf or like going to bowling or catching a movie. Like there's none of that stuff right now. So it's just cool to get together and like work on a car. Like I haven't worked on
Yeah.
my car in forever, right? Like so, it was just cool to hang out, shoot the shit, have some beers, just kind of get back to some normalcy in life, man.
I like
I agree.
Juicy Lucy's.
Oh my god, Alex is a fucking wizard. He's a
Oh,
grill
Yeah,
wizard.
the
This
burgers are
man
fire,
somehow
Burgers are fire.
impregnated beef with cheese. Like
Impregnate's a strong word. It's strong. Strong.
it's
I mean,
it's a strong piece of meat.
wrong, but I mean, it was
It's a-
delicious.
Like,
Good ingredients are key, my friend.
bro, his patties were like this big, like half my face.
I think they were like 10-pound patties.
Yeah.
You stuffed it in
So
your face, kid.
I
Oh,
made
yeah.
5 burgers. I made my son's like little itty bitty burger, which I almost didn't count, but I made 5 burgers with 2 1/4 pounds of beef. So that
Jeez.
I don't know the fucking math on that shit because I'm hungover.
You don't
but,
need
like,
math, baby. You got grill
need
hands.
meat.
You got grill.
And just some fucking cheese and grill that shit, and that's it. But yeah, no, it's just,
I don't know. I don't know how you impregnated the beef with the cheese without
It's
it
like
like
half-pound
falling
patties.
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah. So all you do
Yes.
is you make. Welcome to the Revmatch podcast. No, all you do is you take.
out.
Hey. It's not bad idea.
I'm
man.
fucking above diversifying. I'm not above diversifying, bro. Like, let's
Down.
fucking do it.
Down.
Thin patty of beef, cheese, other thin patty of beef, and just kind of like molest it together. Seal
Really?
the edges. That's it. And
Yeah.
then the key is refrigerating them for like 2 hours because it like all the fat congeals or whatever. I don't really know
Okay.
how it works. Science is in the fridge.
Science!
Check it out.
Get this man a YouTube cooking show, like right now.
Right?
I know how to make like
Well,
4
here's the thing,
things, bro. It'd be the least amount of content ever. Almost
So
the
you're like
listeners
in and out,
got-
bro. You're like in and out. You're really good at like 4 things. Your menu's very limited, but those 4 things you fucking
They're
crush.
awesome.
You know what? I fucking gravitate to that thought process in so many things. Like, don't feel like you need to be amazing at it. Like, I'm gonna put a rest. Lazy Dog sucks, right? Because there's like
Lazy
50,000
Dog.
fucking things on the menu, right?
I will give you that. Their menu is rough to get through.
Yeah.
And none of it is like good. Like, none of it is like stands out to the point where you're like, I want to go to Lazy Dog and get this. No, it's I want to go to Lazy Dog and get. That's it, right? Like,
I mean, they do make a solid old fashioned though.
the bars. No, the bars on point. Like, I actually don't have any.
Yeah.
And it's one of the few bars you can actually. I like monk beers, like Belgian triples and quads and shit, which are like
Yeah.
with hazies and all that shit. Everyone can't find them anywhere. But that's like one of the few places you can go and get one of those. So,
Yeah.
So like I like them for that, but the food's just not super great. But there was when I lived in Sassoon, this dude opened like a tap house, Rustwater or whatever,
Uh-huh.
and It was super chill. He ordered half kegs from all these breweries, so he was forced to rotate them like every 2 to 3 days. So he'd have like a constantly rotating tap menu, like 3 times a week. The whole menu would be different.
Damn.
And all he had was, right? It was a cheeseburger, a chicken sandwich, mac and cheese, a house salad, fries, and then on Sundays you do a Luther burger.
Oh,
which
this
is
is
the
the
same
guy.
cheese.
Oh.
This is the McDonald's that we had to go see, or we had to go to when we're going to that spot.
Yeah, if we're gonna go to Vallejo, we need to.
Yeah.
Split. So on Sundays he makes Luther burgers, which is just a cheeseburger with Krispy Kreme donuts instead of bun.
Oh.
And he had like 3 different cooks that work there, but it doesn't matter what day, what time you go, everything tastes exactly the same, and it's always banging. Like,
Damn.
and it's cheap. It's super cheap. So if you're in Fairfield, Sassoon area, go to Rustwater because Dave's a shit. What's up, Dave?
Wait, so
Yeah.
the smoke pretty much cleared out. Do you guys want to do photos on the 11th?
What day is the 11th?
That's next
Sunday.
and I'm down.
It's early morning.
How do you guys
Early
feel
morning?
about
'Cause
after
I got-
Saturday stuff?
Yeah, early morning.
What do you mean after
mean-
Saturdays?
Like, how do you feel about like moving us
After work
recording
Saturday.
podcasts to like after Saturday, like when we all get home at like 6:30?
Okay, but why?
Yeah.
Because Sunday's my only day off, and I do this in the middle of the day.
Technically, it's in the evening.
Johnny,
Let's have this conversation. Let's have this conversation.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're trying to like gain fucking sympathy with listeners by like bullying
No,
in the middle of
no.
My
Poor
only
Timmy,
day
it's your day
off.
off.
Oh.
Fucking asshole. Get out of here.
I'm a small child that usually
Oh.
has one day off.
Yeah.
Please, sir, may I have some more free time?
Oh,
Fuck outta
yes,
here, bro.
please. I need.
Trying to run a fucking business out here, Timothy.
Not a lie. This is for volunteers
No,
and
we can-
donations.
We can have this. This is like a pseudo good segue. We're gonna move the drop date for the podcast. So we've been dropping it on Mondays. Doesn't perform super well on Tuesdays, so we're gonna try it. We're gonna mix it up. Drop it basically when you log into your phones Thursday morning to head to work, you will see the podcast there and on YouTube. This episode, you guys will know, will drop on Monday, the 5th. We're gonna push this one out like normal because we're covering kind of the live stream yesterday, but we're gonna move everything out. So Timmy, yeah, we can discuss scheduling.
We'll do this later. We can do it later.
Yeah, we'll just. I'm open to changing as long as it's consistent. Maybe even during the week. Maybe even during the week at night would be easier. Who knows?
That's
right?
fine.
Like,
It's whatever.
whatever.
We can talk about it later.
yeah, because at least everybody will be. You guys basically all get off at the same time,
Pretty
right?
much.
Yeah. So, and I'm.
Yeah.
Here
Yeah,
now.
I know you got
Yeah.
a lot of work to do.
I got a lot on my plate right now. You
Yeah.
know, so I appreciate it. Chris's face.
Especially since you
Fucking
don't have to
Chris.
like go get a jack or anything.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Wow. You didn't need to fucking attack me.
Whoa, I'm sorry.
Super.
I'm-
uncalled for.
I am just at surprised at how pink your drink is.
And you know
Like-
what's funny is
Kinda
I
like a-
keep
It's kind of like a purple.
It
I keep
is like
diluting it, and it just stays pink. It doesn't get any less pink. Like, look, it doesn't. Like, what do
That's
they
what
put
she
in this
said.
shit? Hey, that's
you're gonna go
two
take a
things
piss
we have to
later,
bleep
but
out
it's
of
just
it.
gonna be pink.
There's just like a piss later. It's gonna be like bright orange or some shit.
Oh,
So I think that on the topic of cars, I think Chris is gonna trade in his Camaro for an S4 now.
Yeah.
it was. It's comfortable. It's really fucking comfortable. Like his back seats are really comfortable. Like it's
Listen,
a
whatever you
practical.
guys do when you're hanging out is to you, bro. Okay.
It's a practical man. He
Well-
finessed. I got finessed. I got
I got
finessed
finessed.
today. I got fucking bamboozled, finessed. There was a lot of roofling in my food.
Technically, there
No,
was.
that's called THC.
yeah. The word of the day is pothete. Anyway.
Right.
No, dude, Timmy. Listen, we give Timmy a lot of shit, just in general, and I don't really know why, but whatever.
Like,
Because he's
It's
so
Timmy.
easy to do.
Hashtag
so
fuck
we-
Timmy 2020. Anyway.
Yeah.
in the corner. Like, we literally took an off ramp, like 35 mile an hour off ramp, as Timmy was doing like 65 on the freeway, which is like slow for Timmy. As he hit the off ramp, he didn't let off the speed at all. It was this constant 65 through the 35 mile an hour turn. I'm like, How are you not trying? There's no effort. I'm holding on. I'm like, some shit is gonna break loose.
Well,
And
he
it
had
fucking
you
did
back
it.
there
Oh,
for
my-
traction.
oh my god. Yeah, I kept that ass
Had the
low. I
downforce.
kept the ass low.
You kept that ass connected.
Thing was
It
just
definitely
squatting.
wasn't the grip on those front tires. I'll tell you that much.
Oh no, that's A1. That's A1.
Yeah.
Spreading.
No, Timmy's car is super nice. Yeah. Episode 7 of us stroking off Tim for how nice his S4 is.
You know,
like,
no kid.
no,
No
like
shit.
I didn't sit in his car until last night, right? Like that was the first time And
Dude.
if I'm being honest, I was so hot for just the Quattro light that hits the ground when you open the door.
Right?
It's such a stupid thing, and I was like, "That's amazing." And my
Yeah.
car is the clips. Like, look
Yeah.
at this, dude.
My
Like,
car is a piece of shit now because
yeah,
of
I
this.
would sell it, burn it, trade it in. It's done. No, it's just yeah, and like the lit door sills, which I always thought were like super like gimmicky. They're not gimmicky. They're tight. Everybody needs lit door sills. I think every car in
Fact.
America. No, and the carbon's super nice, obviously, but it's comfy. The back massagers are dope because right?
Yeah.
But
You got Siri's hands on your back, just kind of kneading him.
no, I'm with it. I'm with it. And we're slowly trying to hire Timmy into throwing $8,000 at the S4 to make it what we all want it to be.
Tim, yours is what, an S3?
No,
Ford.
what?
Or,
What?
excuse me, S4.
What?
Yeah.
You have an S3.
Well,
What?
you
What?
have-
You
you have
what? You
both.
own an S3.
You
I know.
got first world problems. You got both.
Yeah. What are you talking
Is
about?
His and hers matching set.
I own a Chevy
Basically.
Tahoe and a Subaru. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, we're slumming it, dude.
Yeah,
we
but you
slum
get to
compared
throw really expensive suspension on your car.
My car's on jack stands. I'm slumming it.
Hey,
My car doesn't
you have a
run.
brand new
That's
STI,
not Timmy's car.
basically.
That's not Timmy's car.
Hey,
I'm trying to find Timmy's car.
At least, kid, you have a like block in yours. He doesn't have shit in his.
It's empty.
It's empty.
My fluids are empty.
Sounds like someone else.
What are you gonna do with that? Are you gonna get that thing up and running or what?
Yeah,
It's a
what's
Yeah,
the
garage
deal?
band. It's a garage band.
Okay.
Like,
Side note, just so everybody knows, kid's got a fucking El Camino that he's been sitting on for a minute. I couldn't tell you the last time I've seen that motherfucker run or drive. So
No.
like, what's up,
I've
kid?
never
What
seen.
the fuck are you doing with that thing?
January 1st, 2011. Was the last
For
time
real?
the car ran. Yeah.
I'm pretty
Is
sure
that-
you took that to Volkswagen.
Yeah. I commuted with this car.
Yep, I think that was the last time I ever seen that car was at Volkswagen.
hmm It was always funny too, because like commuting in this thing is not practical at all.
Whoa,
I would take a
No
turn,
shit.
like with a quarter tank, and like the turn would like make the gas gauge like kind of slosh around, like.
Oh yeah.
Hey, it's no different than your
old
guys'
school life.
STIs and your washer.
Windshield
fluid
washer,
issue.
the washer light comes on and you take it too fast. It's
Oh yeah,
the most,
I tried to
how
tell you
it's
that. I
happening
did tell you that
last
last night. I was taking a corner so hard that the washer fluid sloshed so far off the sensor that the light came on in the middle of a turn, and then I came back and it sloshed back and it was all turned stuff off.
I usually keep mine full, so I've never had that light come on. But it's
Yeah.
fine.
Well, we're scumbags and we don't.
Yeah,
So it comes on all the time.
pretty much.
Connie's only.
As long as you're
don't-
keeping
I
your
don't have
oil
one.
level full, you're good.
Oh.
Check my oil level. I check my oil level.
Oh,
I do check my. I change my oil every like 25.
I don't have a dipstick.
Touche.
Yeah, he's right.
Why do we
Right.
have him on here? Like, why is?
I blew one motor. I could blow another one.
Yeah.
Right?
And a transmission.
Hold my beer. No, dude. We should. Hi, Jess.
Hi.
Everybody says
Hero.
you're playing shit to where?
Oh, dude. I thought we lost him.
Okay. No, we should. Dude, we should build the.
Huh?
We should build the Camaro. Not the Camaro. We should build the Camino. We should
Camino?
build the El Camino.
Yeah. Yes.
There's a rabbit hole that I explored.
Was it
Did
a
with
lot
this
of?
thing.
Was it a lot of Detroit speed parts?
Was
No,
it
it
like
was.
an LS
So-
swap?
You know what? Hold
And
on.
twin
No, we
turb
put
skis?
like a Honda lawnmower in there.
Hold on. No. So my whole
Oh, we
thing
should
is that,
K20 swap the El Camino.
no.
Yeah, Mike,
So my whole thing
yeah,
with the El
that's what I'm
Camino is like
talking about.
that engine bay is so
2JZ.
fucking huge. No,
2JZ. Oh.
I wanted to put a 572 in it. Big old 572 big
So
one.
Timmy.
What do you mean? Because like this engine bay is so big, right? A
You know,
572 would fit nice and snug.
So with twin turb skis.
Yes, Mike.
Yeah.
Ooh.
and make way cooler noises. Arguably cooler.
Oh yeah.
I mean, big blocks. I mean, if you put a hog ass cam in that thing, it would chop that thing tight too. I'm not above, but
If you're gonna put a big block, you gotta put a blower on it. But like,
Yeah.
nonetheless,
that's still 1,000 now. But now you're talking like 1,000 horsepower and a 50-year-old chassis.
Yeah.
or
It would-
you could just
It would mainly
drop
be
a
for
fucking
cruising around town. Like
LS in there with a single turbo, and it'd be reliable as fuck and make all the right noises and be a sleeper.
Yeah, but LSs aren't really interesting in a sense. Like everyone goes for LS. Like no
Hey,
one
Chris,
really goes for
you
big
need
blocks
to take
anymore.
that word "butt" and put it out of your vocabulary and just do what Johnny says.
If you want a cruiser, here's my only thing.
Get
There's
a
a
Harley.
reason they go
Yeah.
LS.
Right,
Yeah.
like a 572.
As a Ford guy, there's a reason people go LS.
because they're cheap and
Right.
they're reliable, and you can throw tons of fucking.
You 100%. You could
but
throw
big
1,000
block.
horsepower at a stock
Big
LS
block.
and it'd run. You throw 1,000 or 600 horsepower at a stock, small block Ford and go boom.
They don't like it. Yeah, but
Yeah.
dude, you can get 427 cubes in an LS.
Mm-hmm.
Like Rubik's cubes?
Yeah, I mean, or what? Wait a minute, what?
I need a minute.
Rubik's cubes? What the
All right,
fuck?
I'm gonna take a shot.
Worst episode
Bye.
we've ever recorded. Officially, right now, because of that comment.
Timmy needs a shot, apparently.
Timmy does need a shot. Timmy needs something, or I don't know. But I'm just saying, like, obviously it's not a big block, but I don't know, man. I feel like 527. Aren't they like fucking 17 grand or some shit?
572 is like $8,000 on Jegs.
You're full of shit. I don't believe
Or-
that.
What is the 572?
It's a
5
572 cubic inch fucking Chevy.
Five
Big
Yeah.
block.
572
sure.
LSX.
As a cast iron block, crank, everything, like, yeah, sure, you could probably get it for that cost, but like anything you want to put power to, you're gonna have to build, replace, and upgrade.
Right? I mean, ultimately it's a project, right? Like it take a lot of time to
What
finish
is a
it.
572
Okay,
out of?
so
Like a big old truck motor.
You're full of shit. It's 15 grand.
Oh, it's 15?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now on Jegs. $15,945.79.
Let me go. Hold on. Let me go.
727 horsepower and 600. Holy fucking Christ.
I mean,
Do
that
it,
is sick.
Michael. On a side note, do it, Michael. Buy it right
That's-
now. Add it to your cart.
What's he looking at?
He's
Wait
looking
a
at
second.
taillights. Add it to your
Taillights.
cart,
Do it.
Michael.
Put it on
Add
the
it
cart,
to your
Mike.
cart
Let's
right
do it.
now.
Oh,
Let's
gosh.
de-trash. Which
Do it,
ones?
clown.
Which ones
Do
are we
it,
looking
clown.
at? I want everybody to
You need
see.
the tinted ones. You need the tinted ones.
Spec D, sequential LED.
I don't know. I feel like since his car is gray, I mean, I like red a lot.
I think the red would play on his. I think I only went. Listen, I went back and forth on my taillights for a week, like trying to figure because they're dark, dude. Right? Like they're.
But I like
Just-
yours. Yours looks super solid.
Thanks, man. I
Like
appreciate that.
if I was gonna get a set of taillights, those would be the ones.
Those are sick. Are those one that Alex
Yeah,
has?
no. Yeah, yes. Those are solid.
Uh,
If I was to get a set of taillights, those would be the taillights to get.
You're looking at
oh,
the
I like those
OLF,
undertones.
Yeah, it is though. Yeah, those look hella sick.
So I'm trying to.
Or I'm gonna
Also
step off
fine.
stream for a second.
No worries.
Okay.
We're keeping this real loosey goosey today. It's all good.
That's what she said.
Wow.
Hey,
For the
hey, Alex.
third time. Yes, sir.
Real question.
See, these are
What's
sick
up,
too.
dog?
Do you do DoorDash?
What do you mean? Do I do DoorDash?
Like, can I order a burger right now?
That's a great question. That is a great question. I will wait the hour and a half. I'm not.
Yeah,
tripping.
I'll wait an hour and a half for that burger.
Well, I mean, for us it would be like 2 hours because we live in Elk Grove and he's a little
Well,
far.
it takes like 30 minutes to get out of Alex's neighborhood.
You're
Yeah.
full of shit, dude.
Is it that
So-
sophisticated?
Yeah, it's
It
like-
is-
No,
Yeah.
they're
You
just
have to do
fucking
math.
dumbasses. Is all it is, dude.
You
Like,
have to do,
You have to do math.
do math to get out of the neighborhood.
Yeah, you need
you
a.
guys act like I live in Narnia. Like I
We do.
You live in
Literally.
Narnia, bro.
It
You
was
live
in
out
the back of the closet.
At
Oh
one
my
point, we had to
God.
step through the back of a closet to open the door to hop in our cars.
The lion, the bitch in the wardrobe. Is that what's happening? Yo,
Yeah.
like if you're gonna do the tails that I got, I would. If you did those red joints,
Right there. That right there.
Yeah.
I
There's a
can't
lot
see
of-
your screen, so
Well, you're lame.
Yeah.
Ooh,
then
I like
it's just-
those.
it-
Those look good.
Yeah,
yeah.
those look good, Mike. You know, maybe you guys should all sell your cars and get World Rally Blue STIs.
I don't like blue. We had this
I don't know,
conversation.
Timmy. I don't know though. This car right here though,
Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Yes.
like
Absolutely.
Oh, was that? Wait, is that a new
All of
bicycle?
us are able to afford a fucking Audi, though.
Okay, shut up, Johnny. Okay, if you didn't spend, I mean, you didn't spend a lot of money.
honestly though,
Remember,
like
remember,
if you
you
put
start
Tim
talking
like
about how much money you make, the internet never forgets. So like,
yeah, yeah, that's very true.
I think Mike should do tails, especially since you did that third brake light. I think tail lights, and if I really wanted to like push your wallet, headlights.
Ugh. Ugh.
'Cause
You
the
know,
headlights,
what's weird,
Yeah.
Mike, is the 2021 S4
See this thing
0 to
looks-
60 is slower than my 0 to 60.
I saw that.
it's heavier.
Like this
Could
little I don't
you-
know. This looks great right here. Like, but
Could
this
you
is
adapt the newer STI headlights with the older STI?
No,
or
it's
is it-
a whole different cable. There's a whole different
Yeah.
wire for the
Well, yeah, because
it's
the newer ones are auto
SRH.
adjusting. Yeah.
I like
Wait,
how
Mike,
this
go
is.
top
Aren't
right.
they only auto adjusting if you get a limited?
They're all.
If you get those headlights, yeah.
Those are sick.
Dude, that's tight.
Those
What are
are
we
so
looking at?
sick.
What are we looking
That's
at?
a lot of money.
this
Uh,
Subi Speed
headlights?
Hero side marker DRL sequential full LED headlights.
Oh, are they the $1,200 ones?
Uh-huh.
So everybody can see. So my buddy had these on his WRX. Yeah, you want the Euro
Those
ones,
are
right?
projector style ones.
Ooh, those
That
look
looks
mean.
sick.
Those look so
Oof.
mean.
Yeah, these are
Like-
gangster.
Like this front end right here, that looks good. Like this
Yeah,
whole
that looks
little
really
Euro.
good. I like how the fog light has that lit up little LED bar.
Yeah, the bar is sick.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not
Yeah,
Photoshop. That's actually a bar. Oh, that is
Yeah.
actually a bar.
He's all. It's not
Fuck.
Photoshop.
Jesus,
And
Chris.
I really like the fact that I'm one of very few STIs with fog lights, or 19 STIs
Yes.
with fog lights.
yeah,
Yes, you already know how I feel about that.
Like,
They're
I'm super
important.
disappointed that Subaru deleted the harness adaptation for 19s and up
Yeah.
for fog lights, so they got rid of the actual connector in the factory harness. So
It's
you
like
have to
they
run
have
your
it on
own.
WRXs and not on STIs, which
Yes.
that doesn't make sense.
STIs
to
get
me.
the headlights. WRXs don't get the headlights.
Yep.
Okay, but the
Oh.
STIs need the fog lights.
Dude,
But still,
there you go, kid, right there.
Yeah, the 19 and
Those are
20
sick.
STI headlight, 18, I guess, and up or whatever, right? Whenever they did the
Yeah.
change,
yes,
noticeably brighter than
100%.
the 15 to 17s.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh wow, nice, Mike.
And I ran with the Mishimoto fog lights, so the
What?
actual
Dude,
tint of the
those
light
light-
is the exact same as the LED as my headlights and my fog lights on.
Oh, that's
or my-
Dude, the light bezel, for that
Yeah.
that little line, dude, for two of them shipped is $180.
Yeah, so that was an option when I picked out my fog lights. I could have picked out that secondary LED strip above the fog light itself. I just felt like it was doing too much because I was adding the fog lights. Like you already have the fog lights, and I wanted to keep mine simple. So like I was adding fog lights to an STI, like a 19 that didn't have it. So I want to keep it simple. Whereas you could just add that and it'd be a nice clean change.
Yeah, that's the other thing to keep in mind too, though, is like it's $109 if you have fog lights already. Because if you don't, right? But if you don't, you have to buy a fog light kit to go with it. So now it's a $500 fucking investment, right? But for somebody like you, that's
Mike, I bet you won't check out right now.
Oh.
Bet you won't. Bet you won't.
I won't.
Bet you won't.
I'll go live on YouTube right now and have the internet fresh.
I think you should do the taillights though. If you're gonna
I think the taillights, yes.
I think
especially
taillights.
Since you did the F1 light. I think the taillights are the way.
Yeah.
If you guys ever want, if anybody listening ever want conversations in your life when we hang out, it's really just pushing each other. First, that's it. This is the entire. This is what the conversations are like.
Pretty much.
Or trying to talk Chris out of throwing a big block.
You're trying to talk him into that. What are you talking about?
No, I want it. I would much rather, dude. If you want me to be completely honest with you, you know what I think would be rad is if you threw like LT4, like an LT4 with a T56 in it.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Give me a second.
What? Do you just have a spare LT4 line?
Oh, he probably does. Probably. Chris is a baller, bro.
I'm not gonna put him on blast. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm gonna be a good kid.
For those that don't know, what is an LT4?
LT4 is you had the LSs forever, right? And all the different numbers at the end had just changes. So you had LS1, LS2, LS3, LS4, which was a front-wheel drivetrain. I don't think there was an LS5, LS6, and LS7. LS7 is the granddaddy 7-liter fucking super, ripper, 505 naturally aspirated horsepower CO6 engine.
Pushrod engine, still, by the way.
All pushrod engines. They're all still pushrod.
Which is still amazing because that's the last one in the industry, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's the last one in the industry.
No. Wait, are the Hemis overhead cam? No, they're still Hemis are still pushrod.
True, but that's still kind of the same basic design if you think about it.
Yeah. What is he doing?
Oh, he's actually showing his car. No way.
So
anyway, go ahead. We'll get back to this.
Okay. Oh shit.
Here.
Oh.
Everybody have their tissues.
Look how big this engine bay is, right? This is a 3.
Yeah.
So you want to stick like the Audi 5-cylinder motor, the 2.5 liter, have a Huracan?
No, I want to stuff this bitch with a 572 because it's like it would be nice and snug and like visually appealing.
Yeah.
Okay, but are you gonna do it?
Work on it.
Huh? What's up?
Are you gonna do it, or is Johnny gonna do it?
No, I'd probably take it to a fab shop. I would have someone professionally fab it.
This is content for our page.
Yeah, you're not taking it to a shop.
Johnny's doing. Johnny's doing all the work, 100%.
I mean, I'll help. I like working on old shit.
Yeah.
What?
I like motherfucking rusty bolts for 4 hours. It's great.
Okay, for sure. But why big block? Why not something fuel injected, more reliable? Like, I realize you're saying want to fill the engine bay. Like, you could. Okay, I take that back. You could take a carbureted engine and make a fuel injection or throttle body injection, and it would be reliable. You could start it all the time, whatnot. Why the big block? You could produce a decent amount of power out of something that's an LS or something that's tried and true versus stepping into something that is large and in charge. Essentially.
Big block is like a big block would epitome be like the
burnout.
When you think of big block and muscle car, it's like you think of like old school Americana with like it's raw, it's big, it's like you're putting a big power plant inside of a car that weighs a million pounds.
But the Camino doesn't weigh 1 million pounds. It's like what, 3,000 pounds?
Oh, I have no idea. It's like
old American cars are not as heavy as people.
Yeah,
like, they're not because
this is like metal.
2,500 pounds from the factory.
Right, no, it's metal, but you have to understand the wiring harness weighs like 5 ounces. Wiring harness like modern Huracan.
There is no wire harness.
In a modern car, the wiring harness weighs 1,500 pounds.
Yeah.
Plus
Really?
down, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there's
100%.
Yes.
Throughout the entire car with
Damn.
all of the wiring, it weighs about 1,500 pounds. So that's what people don't really understand when it comes to newer cars. Is like
you have canvas
that's a lot
where
of the weight.
everything's talking to each other.
Mhm.
The headlights are talking to the ECU, right? Telling it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's there's like I remember when I was working for Tesla, like the Model S 12 volt wiring harness, which is not any of the high voltage shit for the powertrain, was 1,100 pounds.
That's nuts.
And that's all the
Cool.
thin gauge shit, right? You still have the big heavy, bogus, big heavy fucking like the high voltage cable and all that shit. That's why, dude, a Model S is like 4,800 pounds or some stupid shit.
Yeah.
Really?
The Taycan is 5,100 pounds.
Yeah.
Yep.
All the weight's
Holy
down
crap.
low
Yeah,
though,
it's a
so it doesn't
monster.
matter. Yeah, like all the weight is at
But
the floor, so it's cool. Like
the battery which sits on the floor is 1,800 pounds of that.
Yeah.
And luckily, it's balanced throughout the whole ground of it.
yeah, because we all know that entire heating system being one giant continuous loop through the whole car hasn't caused problems for anyone.
No,
Never.
only
Never.
19
Never.
recalls.
I just feel like I just triggered Johnny right now.
First year.
Okay,
Yeah.
Johnny has
First-
done like freaking like 9 different Taycan recalls, or 9 different Taycans, all with a bunch of recalls.
I've done them all, or
Oh
most of
my
them.
god!
But besides the
Dustin's
point, all
lucky.
right, Chris.
Oh, no, that
Like,
thing's sick.
what's the point? Like, okay, you want a big block just for that Americana nostalgia? Like,
No, it's
that's
like
just kind of like your feel
it's just-
for it. That's what you want.
Yeah. That's just big,
mean-
obnoxious, sounds
But-
fucking
Can I,
raw
can I
and
It's
get
got
nasty.
like a
That's kinda what I'm
turbo
getting at,
F20
like-
in it.
Huh?
No, but like that's what I'm getting at. Like,
Turbo
that's what
F20?
you want.
Oh yeah. It's just me. There's
You know
like
what
no
I'm saying?
really.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
There's no really real practicality to it. It's just big.
I'm
Well, I mean,
building an
it's
engine
also
for
like-
that and building that because that's what I want. So it's like it's not just something that's done. Like this is just something that you actually want. Like this is like your end game for this car. Like
Yeah.
Well,
That
would be my next question. Like, what?
because doing that, you're gonna have to change suspension. You're gonna have to change your transmission. You're gonna have to change your rear end, most likely your drive line.
Oh, he's gonna change
You gotta
everything.
change all
That's
of
a truckload of
Oh
power.
yeah. It's
That's
a good. It's a.
drive shaft.
It's
I
a
call
rabbit
it
hole, but
I call it the retirement car.
Oh, so you're gonna have it for another 50 years before you start doing anything.
Do it,
to
kid.
Essentially,
Just do it.
yeah.
okay. See, like,
Just do
see,
it.
at that point, I think you should take it in steps. I think you should.
Wow.
Personal opinion
$9,000.
from what I have done with this car. I have upgraded the rear end. It's a Ford 9-inch. It will handle. It's bulletproof. Everybody knows.
What?
can
You
talk
didn't put a
shit about
Chevy
a Ford.
10 volt in that thing? What a pleb. Anyway.
Yeah. Everybody talks shit about Fords.
Yeah,
Right.
it's still-
but
yeah.
their 9-inch is one of the strongest rear ends out there, and most people can agree with that.
The most, if not the only, reliable. But anyway, go ahead.
Nonetheless, exactly. So then I changed the transmission, upgraded that. I changed the suspension all the way around. Granted, it's not modern suspension, but nonetheless. Then I added power. So it's like, I think you should get it running again, drive it, change your electrical, change your steering, potentially, go for like suspension and rear end with the end goal being having this big ass motor in it. So that way you can be prepared for when you drop it in, you can enjoy it versus dropping that motor in and then go, oh fuck, well now I need to do this.
Right. Yeah, I get it. I mean, yeah, that's
So because you could put that all that stuff in, upgrade the brakes, wheels, suspension, blah blah blah, drive your car with the motor that's in it, make sure everything's solid, drop your new motor in it, and then you get to enjoy what you actually want to enjoy. You know, you don't have to worry about the bullshit. And like that's where I'm at with this is like I've spent the time putting all of the other stuff into it, and now I'm upgrading the motor to get the power I want. Granted, I'm changing a few things in the process to be safe, but like nonetheless, like I've made a lot of those changes before I'm actually throwing the power into the car.
Right.
right.
I think.
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean,
my
maybe
question was the the engine aside, right?
Mhm.
Like, what's the goal? Like, do you want to
That's
like
a great question.
like
Yeah,
is it a resto mod? Is it a pro touring car? Like, what do you want it to be? Because like if you just want a cruiser with a gas cannon, right?
We could do that
Like,
easily.
yeah, that's not like a big deal. Like even
Yeah,
what
I
you
mean,
got
do
a
you want to
350
take it
in it
to
right now?
fucking Home Depot and throw some shit in it and like go back to the house? Like, I mean,
Do you want to be able
like-
to take a corner? Like, what do you want to do? Or, like,
yeah, exactly. Like,
do you want it to drive like a more modern? I mean, listen, like,
let's pick your brain. Let's come on.
Yeah.
My goal with this here thing is load
Oh
up
my
on trailer on weekends.
Oh, okay,
Um,
because we could take it one further and we could drop a Corvette drivetrain, which would make it a split.
well,
You could
so
put the
what I'm-
back half of the transmission in the rear and the belt housing in the front.
yo,
which
that would be a fucking thing, dude. You want to put a torque tube in an El
Bro.
Camino? That'd be shit.
And you can
It's-
find a rolling
Don't
chassis
shake your head,
narrow.
kid. Don't
You
turn us
can
down.
find a rolling chassis for a Corvette easily, bro, at like a salvage yard.
It really, I mean, it's all how
Alex
far
from
you
work.
want to take it.
Boom. His Corvette. That would have been a
Oh.
perfect buy.
okay, so my goal is
Yeah.
I'm
My
just saying
goal-
it's out there, bro.
I linked it in the chat. It's Nelson Racing Engines posted this video, putting like a
Oh
twin
my
turbo
God.
572. They put a twin turbo 572 in this Impala, and the Impala just looks nuts. And it's like this cleanest build. It's fast, obnoxious, and doesn't really make any sense until you like.
But you
stab
have
it.
no weight in the ass end because it's an El Camino. So, like,
I know.
that's what I'm saying. You could do a Corvette drivetrain
Mhm.
to transfer some of that weight and kind of set it off as more of a unique style build.
Yeah. He's got a point.
I mean, yeah, sure, it'll definitely
So
be
for-
unique.
And the
everybody who's-
Corvette drivetrain is based off of an LS build, which will handle the power.
If you've never, so I'm putting this up in the podcast for people watching.
Okay.
If you're not watching and you're listening, Google Nelson Racing Engine, and the first thing that you'll see is a 1500 horsepower
15.
twin turbo LS. This LS, right? Nelson Racing engines are some of like the sickest crate
you won't
engines
do
that
it.
you could buy.
Definitely not.
This one is, yeah. This is now. I'm looking at the 572 and it's got the crazy like alien looking intake manifold, right, where it noses down.
Yeah.
It looks like it
Grab a
eats.
beer.
It definitely
Back.
eats.
Yeah, it's a $55,000 crate engine.
So my man go get hit by the UPS truck and cash out.
Yeah, let Brown Santa Claus run his sleigh right in.
Right?
Brown do for
That's a
you.
UPS joke. Before anybody flames me for it, Brown Santa Claus is a UPS guy. God.
Always gotta be Alex, bro.
I'm just keep.
Yeah.
I gotta put disclaimers in the shit. But because like for me, like I've had I want to build an old Nova. Like I want to get my hands on like a 69 to 74 Nova. I'm gonna put a 69 away because I hate the older front end.
Right.
Mhm.
Good. But it's got a big ass engine bay. It's a really small car. Like if you've never seen an old, not a Nova 2, right? Not the Chevy 2 Nova, like the generation after the fastback.
Right.
It's a pretty small car in the grand scheme of muscle cars, right? It's not like a Charger where it's fucking really 19 feet long or some shit. But I always wanted to deturd it as much as I could. And what I mean by that is, like, you'll never make an old car perform like a new car. Ever.
Yeah.
You can throw all the money in the world at it, and it just doesn't happen. And I've had dudes with resto mods and pro touring cars let me drive their cars. And does it drive better than an old car, which is basically a glorified tractor? Yeah, of course it does. Like, you know what I mean? You throw Corvette suspension in something, or QA1s and all the subframe connectors and all the nice shit, it's obviously a way nicer car. But it's most of them are still body on frame, right? So
Yeah.
there's just ways that shit doesn't work versus unibody. But I've always wanted to do that. I've always wanted to take an old, get a cool LS block, maybe strap a blower on it, whatever. And then if you guys ever seen like Roadster Shop or East Bay Muscle Cars or any of those dudes, right? They make these super like over the top nice. I'm gonna look it up, put on it. Like if you guys want to look up Roadster Shop so you can see what I'm talking about. But Yeah, they make this shit like almost like what Singer like what Singer does. Porsches, right? It's that same kind of thing. It's they have their whole chassis and that you can buy a rolling chassis from Roadster Shop for 5G or something like that. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It'll have suspension on it or whatever, right? But it doesn't have an engine on it. But you can buy them with engine packages.
Oh shit.
And they'll tell you what body they fit under, and then you just like put your car on top of it, right? And then obviously there's all the extra work you have to do from there. They do them for K5s, they do it for Broncos, they do it for F100s, they do it for all types of shit. Like if you go on Roadster Shop's Instagram and scroll, which is what I'm doing right now for everybody who's watching.
Damn.
They have all this stuff available, and it does quite a bit to like improve the car.
Mhm.
It's still a fucking 60-year-old car, dude.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
Like it's not like science hit and decided it wasn't gonna be a thing. So when I asked what the main goal was, it's like, is that if you're not trying to take it that, and you like, I'm gonna keep leaf spring suspension in the rear, maybe I'll throw coils in the front, clean it up a little bit, and then just run it with a carburetor. It's like, well then fuck it, yeah, get it running, right? Clean up the drivetrain, get it prepped, get the bodywork done, and then drop 15 grand, throw the 572 on it, and push it in more of like a classic configuration, right? Like a little bit more period correct kind of setup, right?
Mhm.
But if you want all the really, like if you want to throw, if you want like a digital dash or you want like a modern stereo or redo the interior and make it updated, then like it would be kind of cool to have like a modern engine with injection and a modern transmission and all that kind of cool shit, right?
Yeah.
It just really depends on, because it's like for me, it's like, and it's your fucking car, you do what you want. Like as long as it's like cohesive one way or the other, it's gonna be sick, right? Like it just depends on which way you want to take it. And obviously, it's none of our cars or shit, but like if it was me, I'd throw a twin turbo LS in it, I'd redo the interior completely. Everything would be modern, be electronic, and have touchscreens in it, and it would be like if you built a '69 El Camino today, well, that's what I would do because that's the shit I like.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you want what would have been a cool built El Camino in '69 with fucking big block in it, like that's fucking cool too. Just depends on what you want and how much money you're willing to. That's really the thing.
Now we're gonna confuse them.
I think it's a mixture of taste, though. Like, I mean, I don't necessarily like my 65 gauges, but like if you drop 66 gauges where it was, a dual center and a couple, it's a 6 style gauge versus the 5 style that I have, or I think 5 style, like it's a different style, different era of the car in that region. So like I don't know, like you could change it up a little bit and then keep it within that style.
It all depends on what Chris is gonna do. Mike has been intently staring at his screen.
Right?
Yeah, he's building his Audi S4, I bet.
Well, no, because you were all we're sitting here talking about kids stuff.
Oh
Alex
shit!
can't see
Oh,
this.
here we go.
Oh, what is it?
Here's a Hellion 1617
Okay.
CAM 2016 Corvette or Camaro SS LT1 twin turbo system.
Chris, you got
I've seen these.
Here
Do
you go,
it right
kid.
now on stream.
$9 grand, bro.
Hey,
You'll
Mike, click add to cart, and then Chris, give Mike your credit card.
The base tuning provides 5 to 6 psi to gain over 180 to 200 wheel horsepower.
Alex, we were just talking about the El Camino.
I'm bringing this up so everybody can see it.
I know,
he's,
but like I'm just
he's
saying,
just trying to spend all of Chris's money. That's all it is.
Wait, Alex, you can fact check me on this one, but can't I spend like $9 grand and get somebody to cart a Hennessy and have them tune it to like 202 or 202 miles an hour? Whatever.
The fucking Exorcist?
Line?
Huh?
The Exorcist? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, the Exorcist. Can't I send it?
That thing's like 40 G's, dude.
Oh, it's 40 G's.
And you have to send him a ZL1 for it to be 40 G's.
Really? No, I thought they did one for the SS.
Oh, now I'm gonna have to go fucking fact check.
Now I'm checking them right now.
Fact check me.
I have to do it so that everybody who's watching can see it, though.
Dude, Hennessy
Oh,
messes with
fun fact. Fun
Didn't know
fact. Somebody that I play COD with, his cousin is an engineer for Hennessy. So if we wanted
way.
to get that, yeah, he said he could probably get him on the show.
I volunteer as tribute.
Yeah.
I volunteer
The
as
Exorcist.
tribute.
So let us
All
know.
right.
Let us know if you guys
So
want to
the-
see some
the
shit that's
Exorcist
totally not a
has-
Guys,
The Exorcist has 1,000 horsepower, 883 foot-pounds of torque.
It's a CL1 upgrade.
Yeah, it did 0 to 60 in 2.1 seconds, does a quarter mile in 9.5 seconds at 147 miles an hour, and top speed is 217 miles an hour.
That's so
it's
ignorant.
like, dude, going 0 to 60 in a Taycan like feels really, really fast. Like
It is really, really fast.
I
It's obnoxiously fast.
0 to
It's-
60 in 2 seconds.
I don't even have to put words on it. It's fast.
No,
I'll
it's
be right back.
fast.
All right.
I mean, that's
here you go,
violent.
kid.
But kid, from one classic guy to another, like, come on, man. Like, are you want to keep your suspension factory? Or you want to do 4-link all the way, or 4-link in the rear, coilovers all the way around? Like,
This was like
I don't know,
this was
kid,
like
this
completely
Camaro
against our
pretty
whole.
good.
This was against our whole practicality thing. I wanted to bag it. I wanted.
I
to,
don't know
but
nothing wrong
you
with
can
that.
do that with the 4-link, and like that's what I'm saying. Like, you can throw airbags on it, 4-link the rear. Like, instead of having coilovers, you have bags.
Right. Yeah. It'd go bags. It'd go 572. I'd
But
definitely.
if you're
beef up
gonna
my
put bags
drivetrain.
on it, you better find something good, because like you either get shit or you get quality. Like
It'd
when
be-
it comes to it,
Dude,
It'd
how
be-
in my
much
opinion.
is this?
Yeah.
Bro, look what they have for sale.
And I'm just kind of jaded because I work for Porsche, and like their air suspension system is pretty fucking dope. So
Bro.
That looks clean.
Wait. Did Aki shut down, or was it
Oh.
What up?
what
Alex,
air
you buy it.
suspension shut down?
Oh, accurate.
Air.
Dude,
It would have been
that's
air
sick.
suspension.
It was like an
Alex,
air ride.
for sure.
Hennessy has a black Velociraptor for sale.
Dude, 600 horsepower, 622 foot-pounds of torque. It's just 0 to 60 in 4.2 seconds.
Dude, okay,
I'm
damn.
bringing it up so everybody can see it. Yeah, I've seen the
Oh my God.
Velociraptors.
They have
That's
that, and then
sick.
they have a 2020 GMC
Dude, look
Sierra.
at that C8. Look at the C8.
Oh yeah, that.
Wait, Can
Dude,
you actually
that is
see their
sick.
What?
inventory?
That
So
looks
this is a
so
2020
clean, bro.
HPE 1200 Corvette C8 or Chevy Corvette
There
C8.
it is.
$225,000.
Upgrades can include a 3-year, 36,000 mile warranty.
Dude, that looks
damn.
sick.
Dude, the
Dude,
American
look-
flag. The
Look
American
at those
flag.
flags.
Oh my gosh,
I don't even know
yes,
what you guys are looking at.
that's
The Hennessy
amazing,
Performance C8.
It looks so freaking mean.
dude. That's so America.
But dude, that
It
looks
really
like
is.
that looks like a damn Ferrari.
It does. It really does.
Oh, here we go. Vehicles for sale. Got it.
100%
looks
looks
like
like
a
a
foreign.
Ferrari.
Between a Ferrari and an NSX.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd buy it.
Look at this thing.
If it was a manual, I'd buy it. Oh, wow.
I
I don't think I could handle a Goliath. Goliath
Are we
would
talking about the
handle me.
6v6?
Yeah.
I have. So somebody did the first one of these things? Like this idea of turning shit into. Oh, Mercedes. They did it with the
Mercedes.
G-Wagon.
Yeah, with
They
G-Wagon.
did
Yep.
They did the 6v6 6x6 G-Wagon. And now like the Sparks Motors, the Diesel Brothers guys did Ford, and
Yeah.
Hennessy does it with Raptors, and it's just like it's just the most fucking ignorant thing like on the planet. Like it doesn't serve any purpose whatsoever. And like I get it, right? Because it's like if you have, they're like 300 grand or some shit like that. Like they're
Yeah.
super expensive. If you have nothing else to do with $300,000, right? Like fuck it, whatever. You know, I want a like I don't. What do you even class? It's not even a monster truck. I don't know what you
No.
classify that as. It's just a I don't know. My brain can't even comprehend what possible justification one has. For
I saw it. I wanted it. I bought it.
That's it. That's literally it, right? Like, oh, that's fucking cool. Send it, right? Like how I go and buy a t-shirt. I feel like that's what it has to be, right? Like when you get to be that
Right.
rich, it's like, oh, I have enough money to buy that $30 t-shirt and it's stupid. I'm gonna do it, and then it's like, oh, I'll just throw 300 grand at.
Fuck, that comes
Yeah.
with 6 wheels. I'll take that.
Yeah, exactly. That's
More is
two more
better.
than my other truck, and they're
More
behind
is
me.
better,
Not a
bro.
movie.
More is better.
It's more is mo better. It's
That's
mo
fucking
better.
America right there.
Yeah, it is. It is America right there, and
That is right.
I don't even know if that's a positive or negative thing to say.
Nope. It's just one of those. It's a statement.
It's just exactly right. There's no
It's literally-
connotation. It's just fucking.
It's like literally the whole statement. Here, hold my beer.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
I think the term aggressively American fits the bill. Like, yeah. All I need. Yeah, I don't. There's some shit out there. There's some shit out there, and I see it, and I'm like, and that was kind of the whole idea behind this whole thing to start with, right? Is
Yeah.
if you look at, and the last 2 episodes, guys, first of all, everybody who still listens to this podcast after these 2 episodes, thank you, because they've just been streaming content,
Fair
right?
enough.
And a lot of it comes from us trying stuff out, and we'll probably wrap on that subject because I wanted to wrap with you guys about it and also like talk to everybody who listens to about it. But there's some shit out there for people that have this kind of fuck you money,
Yeah.
and it's like you're just like it doesn't even matter anymore, right? It's not even about loving the car anymore.
Right.
It's just what's the dumbest thing that I can do and how much does it cost? Like that's
Yeah.
that's really all it is. And I think it completely changes people's idea of what automotive enthusiasm is on a regular level, right? Like, the people
Or
that
in
we're going to
its
start.
truest form.
Yeah, well, and it's like the people that we're going to have on the show, because we are going to start bringing guests on the show, right?
Yeah.
Break it up a little bit, do
Yeah,
some new shit.
definitely.
We're really going to focus on having regular ass dudes on the show. You know what I mean? Like, I prefer to have guys that built their own shit, people like that track their own stuff and kind of are their own race teams and all that stuff. Because you look at there's so much content on the internet that this pie in the sky shit,
Yeah.
and obviously there's a place for that, but it's all you see anymore, right? Like
Right.
the grassroots, and I think that's probably the best way, but like, grassroots level is always underrepresented, and it's like you can't. It's really hard as somebody like us gravitate to this kind of shit, like a 66 Chevy Silverado, because there's no like parallel, right? Like it's like, well, I can't work on that thing, right?
Right.
Like I can't pull it in my garage and like do anything to it. It's a fucking monstrosity. The thing doesn't even fit in my goddamn driveway. I have to park it down the street and walk to my house. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Or like, oh, I got a 720S with bigger turbos or like underground racing Huracans, which is
Missing your rear bumper.
fucking thick. That R8 that was pulling air, doing a fucking wheelie off the line. That shit was rad.
Yeah.
That was mean. That was really mean.
Yeah,
But you ain't working on that in your garage.
Fuck no. You don't even look at that thing the wrong way in your garage. Break something.
Yeah.
Right? So, yeah, it's one of those things. Like, if you're a musician, so Timmy will probably get me on this. You play guitar, right, Tim?
Yep.
Okay, so you have dudes that can shred, right? You have your Steve Vais and your Joe Santini and all these. It stops being interesting after a while. Like, it's not.
100%.
It's not intriguing to listen to because it's not dynamic anymore. It's not interesting. There's no effort, right? There's no soul in it. It's just this dude's so fucking good at this one thing that he can just sit there and. I mean, granted, Steve Vai did the Halo soundtrack, so God, whatever. Like,
With the guitarist of my favorite band who actually says he's really good at like shred solos and he hates playing shred solos, but he does it because he's good at it.
yeah,
So it's
but there's
because
not
it doesn't have feel. It starts to lose its touch after a while.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that that's kind of the point we're getting to with some of these cars. It's just so easy, right? Like,
Yeah.
like your car, like Timmy's car is probably the closest that I would actually want to get to something like that because you have so much power left on the table and it's really easy to get to, whatever. But it's not like you're
But it's
starting.
exactly what Chris said. I mean, Chris said earlier when I took that off ramp, like there was no effort, and there really wasn't. Like,
Yeah.
it's not like a 997 Carrera where there's no computers and it's you going out that on ramp and you driver skill. I mean, like, of course, I mean, I'm not saying I don't have driver skill because like.
It's all his car.
But like
his car.
there really was no effort getting off a 35 mile an hour on ramp or off ramp at 65, 70 miles an hour. Like the car just does it. Like,
Yeah.
you don't have to be good at driving to be able to drive today's generation of car.
Not to the degree that you have to drive something what most of us drive, like the rest of us drive, right? Like
Yes.
Right.
And it's the rest of us fucking peasants that aren't Timmy.
I mean, like,
Loud and
the
clunky.
thing is, like, when I used to drive my
Yeah.
WRX, like, I would drive my WRX with traction control off all the time because
that
I
guy.
enjoyed driving that way. I am that guy, but like, I don't drive with traction control off on my Audi. Like, I've never driven with traction control off on any Porsches at work or anything because, like, that's too much car for me. I can't handle that. But like the Subaru, I feel like you have to drive with traction control off because it gives you a different feel of how the car actually drives. And that's how I always learned how to drive my WRX, and that's how I always drove that thing. But
Hey,
like
what
the
year's,
Audi,
what
like
year's your Audi?
the Audi's 2019, so it's 2018 plus is the same model.
Damn, bro, they drop like a rock.
Well, like,
That's
so
true.
Oh,
for
100%.
me,
I mean, the car's probably worth 35 grand.
for me with driving, like, I daily drove that for fucking 8 years.
Yeah, didn't you like 8 years?
8 years.
Yeah.
Like, I fucking drove back and forth to Universal Tech, fucking got my job at Volkswagen after that, fucking drove there. Like, I mean, it was like 3 weeks in, and I dropped a 5-speed in it.
Yeah.
Like, but like driving in the rain with that car
Oh my
versus
God.
driving in the fucking WRX,
Oh.
the white car that I had,
Oh,
versus
yeah.
driving in the 19 STI is like fucking night day. Like,
Was
holy
getting
fuck.
in 19 STI like getting in the fucking space shuttle? Was it like such a
Yes,
shock?
yes, 100%.
And that's what's cool about, like, I mean, Johnny, you haven't had the experience of having hella cars. I mean, you've had a
Nope.
couple cool cars that I'd love, but like, I've had so many cars, and like, the STI's torque split is what, 59 in the rear, 41 in the front as a stock.
Yeah.
And my Audi has a full rear wheel bias. I mean, it's like 75, 80% to the rear until you start actually moving and doing something, and then it uses torque vectoring and everything, and like, it feels so different than driving the STIs. Like, it's a different experience. Like, I feel like in the WRXs and STIs, it doesn't matter whether it's a WRX or an STI, you have to drive the car. It is
Right.
not, I mean, there's a traction control system, of course, but you have to drive it. You actually have to
You have
do
to listen to
something
the
with
car.
it.
You have to listen to what
Yeah,
the
like, I mean, my car, like, when Chris first did his suspension and we went on that drive, like, I just pushed my car because I didn't want fucking Chris to catch me. Like, I was like, and the car just like the computers
Maximum
and the
petty.
suspension and like the dampening suspension. It's just like
Maximum
it's
petty.
like okay, I can hang with all this, and I was like, I just assumed it would, and it did. But
Yeah.
like the
Until it tells
WRX
me
would
fucking
not.
otherwise, right?
Yeah, exactly. But the WRX
like-
would have been a whole different situation.
I feel like the big thing is like in a modern performance vehicle, like you're fucking up when the little light starts flashing, right?
Yeah.
It's like, hey, dial it down. In stuff like we drive, like you have to pay attention to how steering feels, right? You have to figure out where the grip is. You have to listen to the tires. You have to you have to feel everything out so you don't kill yourself, right? You have to listen to what's happening. And
Hey, I found
modern cars are more like, nah, I'll hit you up with something. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
I mean, I'll throw myself out there. Like, I had an experience with the Mustang, and Mike was there. We went out driving, and fucking, I went out on shitty tires, and we went around this corner, and the fucking car just kind of started giving way at the ass end. And I couldn't have flipped it around quick enough, and the car spun around and just kind of like slowly backed off edge of a cliff. And I just kind of like sat there. Like, it just goes to show, like,
that's
modern
sketchy.
technology fucking helps. Like,
Fuck yeah.
it's just amazing to see the difference between how newer cars drive versus older cars. Like, there was no help when that situation happened. Like, when the car started to slide, I threw my steering wheel because it's an older car. Like, you have to make 4 or 5 the amount of turns in the steering wheel to make the
Oh,
same
Good
amount
old
of turn.
steering boxes, baby.
And it just went around too fast, and it just fucking, I dropped off a curb. Luckily, some people fucking came by, helped us out, and I got my car out and drove away. It was just fine. American Steel, figure out. But nonetheless, like,
America.
but yeah, I mean, that's the difference between cars back then and now. Like, you don't have any help on older cars, and especially like early 2000s, like, it's limited.
I
But
mean,
I
that's
feel
why
like,
Ryan doesn't drive his car.
besides that, I
Yeah,
feel like early
that car's scary,
2000s.
bro.
Yeah.
I think early 2000s and newer, like, I think anything early 2000s and older, like, you get the old school feel, and if you go newer than that, you start to lose the feel of actually the car.
I think that's a really good point, and I think that you see it too in the value of vehicles and how they hold. Don't the stuff that's
100%.
still worth money now is all the analog shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like all of these newer supercars are not. They're not gonna hold their value like vintage Ferraris, vintage shit. They're gonna hold in a way that the newer stuff won't, just
Yeah, definitely.
by virtue of
Bring that back up. Bring that back up.
Yeah, bring
what back.
Bring up the
What
porn. Bring the porn back.
Sorry, we were looking at the
Oh.
Tango Red RS3 for sale.
Is it at?
Elk Grove, Audi.
Rowdy for
Dude, the red.
Dude,
Oh.
that thing looks awesome.
Oh, look
I
at
wish
those
there was a
seats.
fucking 6-speed in there.
Oh,
Right.
dude, if there was a 6-speed in there, oh my God, Johnny, you already know I'd be all over that.
Dude, look at
Take
those
my
Cobra
negative
Kai
equity.
seats.
Take my negative equity.
Bro.
Can I
look
tell you how much I wish they made this in a wagon that we?
Dude, right?
I mean,
Because
one
they-
day. Okay, in Europe, I don't know
They
if
have
you watch. Okay, Auditography is a YouTube channel and an Instagram that I watch all the time, and he always has the first reveal photos of the new Audi models and stuff like that. And there is the new S3 with the facelift and everything does come in a wagon.
They always get the wagons. They've
Yeah,
always had wagons.
Yeah,
but they haven't made an RS3 in a wagon yet. If they do like an
Of course,
RS3
they're
Avant,
probably
that
not
would
going
be
to.
amazing.
Yeah,
they're probably not
that's
going
a whole conversation. Just the why don't people love wagons in this country? Because we're idiots. That's why.
Yeah.
We'd rather buy fucking crossovers like children. Get out of here.
What was the Audi 6 RS6?
RS6
There's an
Avant.
RS6. The
Avant.
Avant is what
Avant.
they do for the wagons. When they do a
That was
wagon, they call it an
mean.
Avant.
We are finally
Right.
getting that thing, and it's prohibitively expensive.
Really?
Yeah,
Right.
it's not going to be an us car. It's a $145,000 car. We can't have it, but one day.
Chump change, easy, UPS.
I hope to
come on,
pick
hit
one up
me.
in like 6 years.
Okay. They do. I mean, supposedly, I heard from both Nilo and Rockland that there was a employee lease on the RS5 Sportback when it came out. That was like a one-time lease of like, I'm talking like an amazing deal. Like, I mean, we don't really need to go into money, but like for the amount that I pay for my S4, I would have rather done this one-time pay lease, and I would have gotten an RS5.
So it's
And
a
then-
one.
It was a one-pay lease, all maintenance included, and then that's it.
So for people not in the industry or people who've never pay lease, a one pay lease is literally you pay the total amount of the lease up, and you're done.
So basically,
you-
you pay 15 grand or $20,000,
20 grand, it's
and
30
you
grand,
never
whatever
have to
the
pay
fuck.
another payment for your 3-year lease or whatever
Right.
it is.
But you get breaks on the money factor and all that, which is like we're not going to go into how that works.
I mean, you save money, and if you know you're gonna have that car, I mean, why not? I mean, when I was in sales at Porsche, I had plenty of customers that did come in and do one-pay leases. Like, I know I'm only gonna have this car for a year and a half and 2 years, and I'm gonna trade it back in and have fun with something else.
And if you
That's
have
what
the funds
Porsche
liquid
customers
that
do.
are feasible, yeah,
Yeah.
just fucking be done with it because fuck payments, right? But I
RS5
feel like
though, dude, if I could get the twin turbo V6 that we use. I mean, I love my car, but
I love how
Wait,
Timmy's
wait,
thinking about.
wait.
Timmy's
Which
over here talking about
twin
how he wants.
turbo V6?
it's
Oh,
the
here we go.
Panamera S and Cayenne S. It's the 2.9 liter.
So
That's what's in the RS5.
Dude, they
Hot
still have
V
my
turbo.
Skyline in LA.
Wait,
I'm
what?
sorry.
Hot
What'd you?
V twin turbo.
Yes, hot V twin turbo. Yes.
Okay, there's a difference. I was gonna say if you're going for the other motor, no, but hot V twin turbo, yeah, you can't go wrong with that.
That is the hot V twin turbo, and then if you
Yep.
go to the RS6 and the RS7, those are what comes with the 4-liter twin turbo V8 that we have in the Panamera Turbo and the Turbo S.
Ooh.
RS7s are gangster.
Dude, okay, bro. Yeah, they're also freaking 200 grand. And
just saying
at 200 grand, I'm buying a freaking GT4, and I'm gonna have Mike do a fucking full-on GMG roll cage exhaust. I'm gonna do a race GT4. That's what I'm doing if I had 200 grand to spend
And
on
you
the
still
car.
had 50 grand in your pocket.
Yes. I buy my GT4. I wouldn't buy a new one, not a 718. I'd get a 2016 GT4 for 75 grand, do roll cage, track alignment, get an exhaust on it, and like you're done. That's gonna be the most fun car you can have with a 6-speed manual transmission and an amazing motor. There's like we don't need to go into names, but the lady that had the white GT4 that she always tracked, that
Yeah.
traded in for the '08 GT3, the gray one, the manual.
Uh-huh.
That
Yeah.
was the first 997 GT3 I ever drove, and that clutch is stiff. But
Yeah.
that is a car. You can just turning on the 997 GT3 and like driving it just to the back where the shop is, like you feel that's raw. That's raw power and suspension. Like there's nothing helping you, and that feels amazing. I think the 2016 model GT4 is like the car that I would pick if I had
Well,
over
she took that thing
$100,000. That's what I do.
She took that thing to Sharkworks and let
Yeah,
Sharkworks go through it.
isn't it a tune, a manifold, and the exhaust and everything?
It's a
tune,
full exhaust. It's a
yeah,
full
exhaust,
tune,
plenum,
intake. It's like
intake.
50 grand in engine and suspension.
The only thing she
Okay,
didn't
she
do was
had the
do
canards,
the
she had the arrow, like it
the
was
gearing.
good.
She
That was
didn't do the
that was a
gearing. That's the only
car.
thing she
No,
didn't do.
canards are acceptable on a GT, not acceptable as GT.
No.
Yeah.
If you're not using them, they're unacceptable.
No,
I
I'm
mean,
Pretty sure
would-
she did the
we already-
LSD and everything. Like
yes.
yes.
Isn't
That was
Sharkworks?
a car.
Sharkworks is the one that put the Yodi engine in the old Cayman, right? Didn't they do it? Yeah, they put a Coyote engine in a Cayman.
I've
Did they
seen
really?
that. I've seen that. I don't know that it was Sharkworks, but I've seen that. I don't know if any of you follow like LS Chavez Engineering, but he's a guy that
guys.
put
Hey guys.
Huh.
Look at Chris Kid. He's falling asleep.
I'm awake. I am 100% awake right
We
now.
haven't said anything about bald eagles in like 15 minutes, so we just.
It's too much
Okay.
German. Too much
Okay,
German
I
happening
don't know.
right
Have
now.
any of you followed Chavez Engineering?
Look at his eyes.
No.
They put LS motors into 997 Carreras, and that's their company. It's Chavez Performance Engineering or some shit. They literally take only LSs and they put them into the old 911s. And
This is the GT4.
yes, that is the exact car that I am talking about.
That's her car.
Is there anywhere anybody listening could find that, Mike?
It's on Sharkworks.
It's literally on Sharkworks
It's
website.
sharkworks.com/2015 Cayman GT4. Google that.
And it's if you just go to Sharkworks and you go to projects, and then you go to Cayman and Boxster.
It's the white one, yeah.
Yes,
There's a couple of ones on there, but yeah.
it's the white one with the non-stock wheels.
It's a nice looking car.
With the one-off wheels.
Yeah, these are made forged wheels.
Yeah, those are made for that car.
I mean,
This
her
lovely
car is
option
awesome.
white GT4
and
came to us.
They may look
up north
similar
with a
to other
full
wheels,
Sharkworks
but
power
those-
conversion, our lightweight
Custom built.
flywheel, the upgraded arrow, and A1R forged wheels.
I
Yeah,
just
those are
okay
made
that,
flex.
but I gotta say, like, I mean, that 997 GT3 that she bought. I mean, that was the first 997 GT3 I've ever driven, and I think
Yeah.
still to this day the only one I've ever driven. I think I've driven a 996 GT3.
Jesus, look at how big those
So,
fucking brakes are.
Dude, you're missing out, man.
Dude,
Like that's
yeah.
one thing you like.
That
The
is big. That is
996s,
raw.
especially the GT3s, and if you're lucky enough to get to drive a GT2, like that's
Ever.
a raw car.
I never have.
I
I
have.
don't think I've ever
GT2
seen a GT2 before.
I have.
I've
It's
seen
scary.
one. I've driven the GT2 997 a couple of times. That car is called the Widowmaker for a reason.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I remember those.
Yep.
I know
It's a lot of power to the rear wheels with those twin turbos, man. It just builds boost and it's violent, and you feel it.
Porsche, just the
This-
engineering behind that.
This
is
is the
just
original
something else.
Widowmaker right here.
Oh yeah, let's see it.
996 GT2.
Yeah.
996
heard tell about
GT2s.
this car.
I've driven one, and it scared the living crap out of me.
Yep.
That car is so raw, and like
The
you go
clutch
to
is
even
stiff as fuck.
yeah,
The gear
like,
shifter might as well be like the shortest shifter you ever felt in your life.
yeah.
You gotta slam it into gear. Like
So
It's
I'm looking
rough.
at one that was on Bring a Trailer, and
The
it
silver
sold last year for 111 grand.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
Was it silver one?
Yeah, it's a
19K?
silver one. Yeah.
I mean, not surprising at all. I mean, Mike had a customer last year that had a 997 GT3 with I think like 10,000 or so miles, and he was selling that thing for 200 grand. Like,
Yeah.
Yep.
We're punching above our weight
that's-
class here, though, boys. Like,
that's
That's the-
way
that's the
above
car
our
I
weight
drove.
class. I mean,
Yeah.
it's what we want. It's not what we can get.
yeah, I mean, I think that's like you could
And
do a
I
whole
still
episode
stand
on
behind the
dream cars, right?
B5S4. I stand behind the B5S4.
Those things are cool with compressor surge and shit. Because, dude, I've been reading articles. Okay, like your boy's been trying to work on his knowledge.
Books.
I love the way that turbos sound with no reason and no blow-off valve because they sound sick as fuck, right? You get the swirl blender, the shit going on. As long as I've been working on cars with turbos, everybody's been beating into my head like cannot run no BOV or no recirc. So obviously, if you're running a map, you want a recirc. You don't want unmetered air getting it, fucks everything up or whatever.
Jesus Christ, Michael.
That's
But-
Dustin Williams' car.
Fuck that guy, whatever.
He's selling his
Mm.
Evo.
Is he?
It's on
Yeah.
Top Rank's website.
For 33 grand.
Oh yeah, I know. I know. I saw that thing. Yeah,
The white one?
silver. Yeah. Anyway, I've been reading articles something about modern turbo technology where you can get by without running anything, and I've heard like that purple NSX that was on Hoonigan,
Yeah.
the Turbo K20 NSX.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, which was like goals as fuck. The fact that he figured out the way to run a carbon splitter with no rods and a clean as shit. And it was a track
Yeah,
car
and you
was sick.
can step on it.
Yeah.
Made my heart. I was with Dan when I was like
Yeah.
watching that. When I fired that episode up, and in the intro, it's that dude putting his foot on that thing, and I was like, "What
Yeah.
the fuck is?" But it's like you hear all these dudes not doing it, and I really want to like if anybody knows, anybody who listens, like fucking DM me, dude. Like I want to know, like, can I get away without running a blow off or recirc? Because people are saying like
Okay.
on newer turbos, they're saying that on more modern turbos, most of the reason why you have a recirc or something like that is because people don't the normal driver would not know how to handle the noise that comes out of a turbo with that kind of back. I understand like real compressors, serious fucking compressor surge where the engine can't heat the air as fast as it is incredibly dangerous for a turbo. I know that.
Right.
Not talking about that. I'm talking about like mid throttle, normal city driving. Because I know dudes that run recirc, they still run recirc, but they run them super tight to where they don't even actuate until they're at wide open throttle. So driving around town, it's literally completely closed. It's not recirc shit. And then when you're wide open and you shift because it's just so much shit going on, then it'll push the air through. So like I don't really know. But
It's
the point is that I
harder on
want
your turbo.
for sure it's harder on your turbo, but how much? Like 5% harder? Because 5% harder is a gamble I'm gonna take. Something that I'm willing to roll the dice on. That shit's
It's
sick.
gonna be more like 10 to 20, like easy.
I'd be
You're
worth it.
talking a lot of pressure, like a lot of back pressure that's not being released, a lot of like pressure that's being retained inside of a chamber instead of like recirculating around, like it's being locked into a chamber, like it's restriction. So
No, for sure. Yeah, you have charge there, pushes and it's pushing it back. So and that noise is
you're right.
trying to turn against the air that's pushing it to hold. I know
Right.
that. I know
it
physics.
creates that cool noise, but over time it will cause more wear and tear on your turbo than if you had a standard recirc or a blow-off valve system.
Yeah, I mean, I don't recommend blow-off valves to any at all.
Unless your car is a front mount and tuned for it, like 100%. I agree with that.
Well, I mean, most of those guys that are running blow-off, fucking. This is a pro tip because blow-off valves are cheap and a lot of people put them on their cars, right? Don't do it unless you're specifically going that route. Car is set up to John's point, set up and tuned for it. Most of those cars are running off manifold absolute pressure or MAP, not MAF. Your car needs to know how much air is getting in order to properly adjust fuel trim, and it needs that. Even if you're tuned, they're adjusting that map, that same exact map. The tuner is just adjusting that and telling the computer to send. Hey, that's a great beer, Citra
Nice.
Extra. Okay, I like it. It's just they're just adjusting fuel trim.
Compensating.
Right. Because you're moving more air and the stock ECU doesn't know how to handle that, which is why you run it, a Cyvex or a Haltech or fucking whatever. You tell something what's going on. If you allow unmetered air into the system, it's going to cause a lean condition, which is going to cause huge problems in engine longevity-wise. And even simple, we should do more of this subject real quick, going down the line, like simple tech tips. There are tons of intakes on the market with breathers on them, and you're allowing unmetered air into your because it's post-map. Those breathers are always post-map sensor. The ECU does not know that fuel is getting into the car, and it's gonna cause more problems long term. So I'm done. I'm off my soapbox on blow. They sound
boy. Atta boy.
They sound sick,
No
but
worries.
they're fucking stupid.
But like, yeah, if you're gonna fucking run a blow-off valve, you need to have at least a front mount system going, and you need to have it properly routed and tuned for it. Otherwise, if you're running top mount, you need to stick with a standard recirc system.
Why is that though? Like, why top mount? I honestly don't know. So why top mount versus? Because I know dudes that run blow-off valves on, and even if you're censored for
Okay,
it,
so blow-off valve makes all the right noises.
right?
But like you said, it's unmetered air. So you're taking metered air and you're bleeding that off. And then all of a sudden you have a fresh amount of air coming in that the car thinks there's more air than there's coming in because you just shot off a bunch of air. So now you have a rich condition. So like the car has to compensate for that. So when you run a blow-off valve on a front mount system versus running recirc, it messes with the air fuel ratio, and you run into a lot more problems longevity wise. Where if you're going to run a front mount, you can have that blow off valve and be tuned for it and not cause any further engine damage, like
you can
long term wise.
Sensor.
Yeah, exactly. Because when you run front mount, the sensor gets bolted right behind the throttle valve. Or right in front of it, like one of the two. Like it's right at the throttle valve versus on the standard front mount, it's at like the air box.
So you're running the vacuum line. Yeah, you have all that tubing to mount the vacuum line. Bleed that off before it hits the half in it. I got you. I didn't know that. Everybody has things to learn.
Hey, hell yeah.
We're all
Knowledge.
Anyway, is that a show, guys? I feel like that's a show.
That might be a show.
I feel like it's solid.
I think yeah. Like I said, the last couple ones have been a little sloppy, a little freeform. We're trying some new shit out. We have an idea of what we want to have conversations with. We want to keep this. We don't want to keep it small. Obviously, we want to grow it, but we want to keep it to regular quote unquote enthusiasts, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot more of us than there are of anybody else, and most channels seem to kind of like progress past the audience they started with, and they leave them behind. Like I used to love listening to the Smoking Tire, and I can't even listen to him because he's talking to he's talking to Tim Barisha and all these dudes who are working on 993s and all, or GT3s and all that shit. Is it cool? Yeah. Do I want one? I'd love one, but like, I'm thinking
Realistic?
about
No.
I'm thinking about like how do I afford $700 fiber fenders? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
not,
I mean,
how
you do
do I
have
drop?
OnlyFans,
Fire,
bro.
I mean-
you do have OnlyFans. I'm just saying, it's an option.
Yeah, no. Hey, like and subscribe. Let me know, and also hit me in the get dad bought OnlyFans. Yeah.
Make sure to follow Night STI on OnlyFans.
Yeah. He's got great content. Drops
He's
every.
starting off at $9 a month right now, but he'll
Yeah.
eventually wake up.
Dropping that, dumping that every day for $9.
Blue and black.
Yeah.
Might see some sexy taillights.
Yeah,
watch out.
Notice me, Sam. Anyway,
Nice.
so yeah, we're working through some stuff. We're trying to keep pressure. Definitely interesting conversations for you guys to listen to and watch. And maybe next episode, Mike won't spend the whole time not buying parts for his car.
Sorry.
I mean, I hope
But
that
did he
he
check
goes
out,
back
though?
and adds that taillights to his cart.
Yeah,
But
everybody
did he
was
check
super.
out?
Oh, shit.
Everybody's super burned out today. We went pretty hard at the yesterday, and I continued.
Oh shit!
the bar-
Did you guys see that? That was a checkout menu.
Is
Okay.
it? There he goes. Which
Damn,
ones?
Oh
Daddy.
shit!
Which ones you doing?
The red ones.
The OLMs?
Taillights?
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Give this man a round of
Attaboy.
applause.
Get
I
it,
think that's
Michael.
a great spot to end. We officially peer pressured to unfucking the rear end of his.
What was
Yep.
it? Yes, King. Yes, King.
Yes, King. Yes.
Yes, King.
Yes. Anyway,
Queen.
guys,
Queen and King. Yes.
hit him with the fucking socials and lick. Let's get out of here. You can find me on Instagram at night.sci. Chris, you're always to my left, so you.
Okay. You can follow me Instagram at cupcake CUPCVKE_.
I don't care about my Instagram. You can follow me if you want, but I'm not really on it. But I'm Tim A with 3 Y's 916.
I'm at Jonathan Stang. JOHNSTANG.
Sorry, forgot how to spell his name.
Oh yeah.
Man.
And my credentials at IG, red STI.
Red wheeled
STI.
STI. What is
Red-
wrong with
red-
you guys
red
right now?
wheeled
See?
STI.
My
you
my
go.
brain ain't so good right now.
My
That's all
brain don't
Johnny's
work
fault.
too good.
I don't perform
It's all
on the
Johnny's fault.
spot.
I saw it last night in my brain movies, and it made my eyes brave. Anyway, guys, that's the Revmatch.